So we can start just by, again, making a bit of a connection, just feeling some tightness. One of the main areas I do like to start is this area here. And I like to feel this band of tension, okay? You can see that little band, you know, when you stretch it out like that? And it shows the connection between this point and this point. And this is an incredibly important energy center for a person. And a lot of people get lines through here, you know, it's like stress and, you know, I relate that to a lot of what we call critical or judgmental thinking. So that's your third eye chakra in Ayurvedic medicine, or energy center. So I like to find this band, and how I find it is by stretching the eyebrow. And don't always think it's the eyebrow. It's actually a little bit below it, but it could be slightly different on every person. So you need to actually feel it. And then I cross over it. How's that pressure, by the way?
That's good.
Good.
Yeah, it's nice.
And we're working that tension away. So always with this third eye area, we want to move the tension here. We want to move it here. We want to reduce the congestion in this area. And I want to also then work like this. And around that cheekbone. So I'm holding it tight up here and then working it. Gradually increasing the pressure a little bit. Still okay in terms of pressure?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll actually bring that sometimes and join on to this point right in here above the ear, which is another very important energy center. And a lot of congestion can occur in that area. I'm doing like a circular movement. Also use my deep breath as a way, just any energy that I'm picking up, it just goes straight through me and out. I'm joining here with the temporal mandibular joint. Okay, so a lot of people get congestion in this jaw area. Can relate emotionally to frustration, anger. So, you know, it's like holding things in. Right? But I'll get to that in a lot more detail in just a second. Still just really working through here. I do a lot of my work with my eyes closed. I always feel like I can see better with my eyes closed. You know, massage was a blind person's art in a lot of Asian countries. But when I'm working near people's eyes, I make sure I'm not poking their eyes. But just in terms of feeling and seeing energy, I see it better with eyes closed. Okay. So I'm rolling over that area in the sinuses. I'm just going to come in a little bit closer. Really feeling quite a bit of tightness through here. And his jaw. I'm already picking up his jaw is quite tight. So now I'm going to have a feel the other side. Right in here is a spot that a lot of people get a congestion in. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm really strongly feeling these bands in here. You can see it here. That's the band right there. Okay.
So
where the ethmoid is, how
Yeah. Like right in here. And it comes all the way like through here, and you can feel it through here. You'll lose it about here, but if you keep following it, even though you can't feel it, it'll join right onto this point. And this is, like I say, a point where you'll feel a lot of tension under people's scalp. And a lot of people who get headaches, this is a spot really common in headaches. Of course, in Chinese medicine, and even what I do, the headaches can be a multitude of reasons. So we need to always figure out which band is causing that headache. But this is a nice move too. I'm going to come back to more work on that area, but I'm just working these. In Chinese medicine, as well as having a central band, we actually have a couple of meridians through here. So in shiatsu, this was a move I learned, and I still like to use it. It's just a nice opening up. And in shiatsu, we were always taught, come from your hara and use your body weight, right? So you can see how I'm leaning in. It feels quite different. Dan, can you feel the difference between me just doing this? Mm-hmm. See, this is my thumb strength, right? And me doing this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can feel that heaps different. It almost feels more like sore and ineffective when you do the first one.
That's
it feels like I'm just getting poked.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm coming more from my body awareness rather than just my muscles and, you know? Okay, again, I'm feeling some congestion in here. So never just, you know, a lot of people just with face massage, they just think, oh, I'm doing a facial and I do this technique and then that technique, same sort of thing, right? Like a routine or whatever, but don't get into that. Feel the blockages, feel that tension, right? And make the massage then get rid of that tension, okay? Don't just go through the motions. I think that's the biggest thing I really want to emphasize with you guys. Don't just go, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, and go through the motions and not, you know, not have that awareness of what you're doing or where's the blockage, right? It's far more important to develop that awareness of where is he blocked than what technique should I use? What pressure should I use? Make the massage suit the person. I'm really feeling a lot going on right in here. Again, I'm going slow. Don't rush things. It doesn't feel good when somebody rushes a face massage or any kind of massage, actually. It's better off bringing awareness, slow, steady. When I learned shiatsu from these Japanese guys, I learned shiatsu from a lot of different people. At the Tokyo's shiatsu house in Sydney, I was teaching them English and they were teaching me shiatsu going back in '95 or something. They really emphasize that they're like, Westerners work way too fast with shiatsu. You know, we tend to, you know, they're working. You know, and he was taught. Yeah, it was different than my first school of shiatsu, but they would actually count one. They'd go in 3, hold for 3, and come out for 3. And that takes, and then some points they'd do 3:10-3 or 3:30-3 and hold a spot for 30 seconds. And that's how they're, you know, Zen shiatsu is actually done more like that. It's a very Zen practice. So, you know, whereas we tend to, in the West, we want to get on with it, get it done as quick as we can, you know? But working with some of the biorhythms of the human being, we actually want to slow the whole thing down because most people are kind of functioning too fast in a sense, you know, for their own.
But I find that with clients, sometimes they find, you know, if you're working longer than an hour, I usually tell them, but they sort of sometimes get agitated, you know, because they've got to get, you know, the next appointments.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I hate working with people like that. You want to charge people more money so that you get quality clients, you know? That's what I think. Really tight in here. So I'm really thinking a lot's leading up to, wow, he's tightened his jaw. Okay, but I still want to get in and do a bit more in here, in particular at this angle right in here. Can you feel that spot there, Dan?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That was a definite yes. Okay, so I'm doing a bit lighter and a bit more flicky, just to try and see if I can get this stuckness moving. So sometimes if one technique's not working, I'll try another. But you know, I'm not expecting to get all the tension out of his head on the first go. I'm just going to do the best I can. Most cases there's going to be, you know, might make 30, 40, 50% progress. And then there's going to be some that's still like tension in here, could be coming from his thumbs, you know. This is called the hot iron rod through the head. I came up with that name myself. It can feel, some people have described it like that. If they're tight, it can feel like that. If they're not tight, it feels really nice. And how this technique is done is 3 fingers together, like a trident sort of thing, but with that finger, and it's an energy. So it's just like if you've ever done Qigong where you create an energy ball with your hands, this is more like a laser beam energy, and it goes straight in here. And I sometimes will change, you know, the spots very slightly.
It's not really sore yet.
Yeah, you're not too bad in there. So this is about the maximum. You're not somebody I would call is so congested in their head.
Okay,
right?
cool.
Yeah. Even though I feel like your jaw is tight and there is congestion, but it's not like,
Yeah.
you're not like what I'd call an airhead kind of person or a space case or, you know.
Contrary to popular belief.
Right. No, I've seen a lot more congestion. So then I like to get in and massage the scalp. And how we do that is for people with hair, we don't want to go like this across the hair, okay? We actually hold the scalp and move it like that, okay? And we can shake it. And he's got a lot going on in here. This is, these 2 spots are very much related as well, okay? The tension coming above the ears and in the jaw. And so there's definitely some stuff going on in there. And I don't want, so I'm kind of easing it off so it's not too, I don't want it to be too sore for him, but I want it to be strong enough to be effective. And I'm definitely feeling some stuff through here as well. So sometimes, like I say, I'll just hold points for a little while, just to try and open up what I can. Okay. And then even before I get into his jaw, I can do his ears. And ears are interesting because they're cartilage, not muscle. So a lot of people think, oh, massage is all about muscle. But actually, there's a whole thing of ear reflexology as well. So there's a lot of pressure points in here. And because the ear is right in between these 2 spots, and what I'm doing is I'm squeezing the ear, I'm sliding my fingers around it, and I'm stretching it out slightly as well. Okay, and then I can hold points. How's that feel?
I don't know if I'm sunburned or what, but it's sort of a funny feeling.
Okay, that's something to always check too if the person has earrings. I've had a couple times where people have very dry ears, especially, you know, how some elderly people get very dry skin and they're actually bled. Yeah, so just watch that. No big deal, but, you know, prefer not to. Is that okay, or is it too?
Oh, no, it's fine. It feels like if you've ever sat on a Shakti mat type thing, it feels like that heat feeling, that funny,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, I definitely feel like there's a lot of, because there's so much energetic charge here. It wouldn't surprise me if it's feeling. But, you know, we don't really want to work over sunburn, if it is sunburn.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
Yeah. Okay. So, and again, I come back, do a bit more here.
So he was wiggling his leg before. Would you take note of that?
I'd check just to make sure it's not overwhelmingly, you know, because I am working him fairly hard because I know he can, you know, so far he's handling it pretty well.
It hasn't been excruciating yet.
No. Were you wiggling your leg for any particular reason? I didn't actually. I was more paying attention.
I noticed it sort of kicked up 2 or 3 times, but I don't know.
Yeah. These things can happen as you start to move in. All sorts of weird shit happens, you know? I just call it under that category of weird shit. We could translate that from Australian to, you know? Okay, so again, now I'm starting to do the same technique, but rocking his head a little bit. Still projecting that energy right into the middle of his brain. And again, I pick up a lot of energy from that, so I flick that off. Now I'm going to come into his jaw. And this is where I was feeling like he's got a lot going on. So I'm going to get him to open his jaw. Otherwise, it's quite hard to get into a person's jaw. Okay. This can be very uncomfortable, so we don't want it to be overwhelming. Okay, we can work 7, 8, 9, but not too, be careful not to go too hard here. How's that for you?
Probably a 7.
7, yeah. And we get right back. See how close I am? I'm virtually right near his ear here when I come back in here, because this is where the tension's starting, right back in there. And I'm just going over it. Sometimes I'm holding it and I'm projecting the energy into my finger like a laser beam, okay? And it's just so tight in here. But he's got a pretty good pain threshold, so that's good, you know? He's not whinging too much. I come into here, and again, holding and even moving a little bit. A bit of movement helps release things. Cross-fibering. And again, anything I pick up, I get rid of. And again, just joining into there. And again, more rotations. I'm just really getting rolling over that. It might also give me indications, like I said before, I might come in here and feel his neck, right? And feel some of the bands in his neck, and they feel tight, and it might make me think, some work on his hands, especially if it's not letting go, okay? Or it might let go 50%, and then it comes to a point it's just not letting go anymore. It's definitely letting go a little bit, but there's some that's holding on. And again, I can work in here. I call this move the fish face. For obvious reasons. And as well as working up into that part of the jaw, I like to also come in down here. And again, just working through and kind of pushing the energy there and then bringing it off. How's it feeling?
Oh, it feels good.
Good? Again, I'll just get you to open your jaw a little bit wider. Okay, and then again, I'm going to come into his ears a bit more. Is that okay, or is that you
That's
still getting
fine.
that
No,
sunburn
that's fine.
feeling?
That's fine.
Yeah, okay. Then I can do his neck by turning his neck to the side like this, kind of stretching that shoulder open, and feeling these various bands that are coming up here, because there's quite a lot of bands that come up into the neck, as you guys would know from doing the online course, right? But I can feel them, and I can feel where they're coming up and joining, okay? Because this is where, when people have a lot of congestion up here, it can lead to headaches, and all sorts of nerves come out for the face and the eyes. And again, don't work too hard into here, because if it's not letting go, it's anchored in the hands, okay? We're just taking away any tension that comes away nice and easy, okay? Because it can be a sore area, and it's an area that you could overwork and then not get the roots of the tension out. Okay, so just whatever's gonna come away, I wanna get rid of. If it's not coming away, it's anchored in the hands. How's that pressure for you?
Oh, it's not sore.
Good.
Feels intense though. It feels like a weird.
Yeah.
Feels weird.
There's definitely energetic blockages, like through here, you can feel that spot there. I'm just presuming you can feel that spot there.
Yeah.
I shouldn't speak for you, but you know. Okay, we can do the other side. And again, this is also a great diagnostic area. Gives me some ideas of where I might want to work, you know, and like whatever tension I'm not getting out of here is probably, if it's on the side through this area, it's coming from his hands. If it's at the very back, it's the big toe sacrum band. It could be the Achilles band right through here. So it'll give me some, you know, plans. I'm like, oh, geez, he's really tight back here. I need to work his big toe. Or I need to work his you know, second toes or third toes, or in here, his thumb's probably tight, or his wrist, you know? And of course I could confirm that, but I'm just getting some ideas. But at the moment, I'm both diagnosing and treating at the same time. If it's going to come away nice and easy, let's get rid of it. Oh, chunky. What I call chunky. It's a technical term. Yeah.
I heard the crunch.
Yeah. Crunchy's another technical term. Oh. Gnarly is another one. We can also stretch the neck like this. While he's stretched, we could again work in. But again, not be too over enthusiastic. Okay, just like working it. And if it's gonna let go, it's gonna let go. If it's not, it's held somewhere else. And coming right up into the muscles beside the spine there, big toe sacrum. And right up where those muscles join into his skull. This is a very important point. Then I can do a neck stretch, which is just basically, you relax, this isn't gonna hurt. And I hold his neck like this and keep my fingers away from his throat, okay? And I get him to breathe. And then I'm just stretching. How's that feel? Good?
It feels fine, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything.
No. I usually do a gentle one to start with because it looks kind of radical, but it actually feels good unless somebody's got really tight jaw or had recent dental work, in which case I wouldn't recommend doing this because it does put a little bit of pressure on the jaw, but we're also pulling from back here. So I've got my hand like this under the base of his skull, and it's basically a traction move. So it's stretching the spine and it feels really good. It looks radical. So you don't mind if I go a bit harder than that?
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
What I do usually is I put my feet here because it'll pull the whole table. One thing you can do is get these rubber things on your table, on the bottom of your table too, from a hardware store. So again, big breath. And how's that?
It's fine, yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. No pain.
No. And then after I've done that, I can come back and do this again. And again, just feel any muscles that are tight there in his neck. I do sometimes come right into the throat, but very gently. Okay, right by the voice box and everything, very, very gently. Okay, so that's a nice way just to loosen up the neck. Then I could come in and do assisted belly breathing, okay? But I've already got some ideas that,